Hello and namaste. Welcome back, seekers of knowledge. In our last video, we explored the intriguing question posed in the Mundakopanishad. What is that by knowing which everything else is as good as known? Today, we are ready to tackle it head on. Buckle up because this is where Vedanta gets truly challenging and stimulating. Before we dive into the heart of the Upanishad's wisdom, let's take a detour to explore a powerful tool used in Vedanta called Nyaya. Nyaya is one of the six orthodox schools of Indian philosophy. It's a meticulous system of logic that emphasizes reasoning and debate as a path to knowledge. Imagine it as a sophisticated toolkit for clear thinking and rigorous analysis. One of the key features of Nyaya is its use of Nyayas, which translate to thought experiments or reasoning methods. These thought experiments act like powerful mental simulations, allowing us to explore complex ideas and test our understanding. Now we will delve into a specific Nyaya called Mrittika Ghata Nyaya or pot clay analogy. This powerful thought experiment will play a crucial role in unlocking the answer to this question from the Mundakopanishad. Imagine a vast expanse of clay. Now picture countless objects fashioned from this clay: pots, cups, bowls, figurines. The pot clay analogy asks us to consider the relationship between the cause, clay, and its effect, pottery. Using this analogy, we can arrive at three profound relationships. The first relationship is called Eka Aneka, one and many. The formless clay, which is one substance, gives rise to multitude of objects. Knowing the clay, the cause, allows us to understand the nature of all the effects, pottery, created from it. Imagine a vast clay pit. This formless clay is one, Eka. From the singular source arises a multitude of objects, plates, cups, figurines, and countless other forms, representing the many, Aneka. Each object has its own unique purpose and appearance. A sturdy pot holds water, a delicate teacup cradles a warm beverage, and a whimsical figurine adorns a shelf. On the surface, these objects seem entirely distinct. They perform different functions, come in various shapes and sizes, and might even be crafted by different potters. However, if we look beyond these outward appearances, a deeper truth emerges. Every single object, the sturdy pot, the elegant cup, and the playful figurine, shares a fundamental unity. They are all ultimately made from the same formless clay. Here's what we infer from this relationship. By understanding the essence of clay, the one, we gain a profound understanding of the nature of all objects, the many formed from it. Knowing the properties of clay allows us to predict its behavior, its ability to be molded, shaped, and fired into countless forms. This principle applies to the universe as well, according to Vedanta. The vast and diverse universe with its galaxies, planets, and living beings can be seen as a manifestation of the single underlying reality, Brahman. Just as understanding clay allows us to comprehend all its forms, understanding Brahman allows us to grasp the essence of everything within the universe. By focusing on the one, we gain a deeper appreciation for the many. The second relationship is called Nitya Anitya, eternal and non-eternal. The clay, which is the underlying cause, is considered eternal. It persists even as the object formed from it break or change. The pottery themselves, the effects, are non-eternal. Again, imagine the vast clay pit from before. This formless clay represents the eternal, Nityam. It persists through countless transformations. A skilled potter takes a lump of clay and molds it into a beautiful pot. The pot, with its smooth curves and decorative patterns, represents non-eternal, Anityam. The pot serves a purpose, holding water or perhaps displaying flowers, but its existence is impermanent. It could crack, chip, or even break completely. The clay, however, remains. The broken pieces of pot could be recycled, ground down, and reformed into a new cup, bowl, or even another pot. The key here is the difference between the unchanging source, clay, and the ever changing forms, pottery. The clay persists even after the pot ceases to exist. This impermanent nature of the pot highlights the non eternal quality of all objects in the manifested world. Vedanta uses this analogy to explain the relationship between Brahman and the universe. Brahman is considered the eternal, unchanging reality, the source from which everything arises. The universe itself, with its countless forms, is seen as the non eternal manifestation of Brahman. Just like the pot, all objects in the universe are subject to change and decay. Stars burn out, planets shift, and living creatures are born and die. These are all impermanent aspects of the universe, the non eternal. Yet Brahman, the underlying cause, is believed to remain constant, the eternal ground of all existence. This concept can be mind bending. How can something be both pot and the formless clay at the same time? Vedanta suggests that Brahman is the very essence that underlies all forms. It's the unchanging reality that allows for the existence of the ever changing universe. By understanding the eternal Brahman, we gain a deeper appreciation for the impermanent nature of the world around us. It allows us to let go of attachment to impermanent things and focus on the underlying, unchanging reality. The third relationship is called Satyam Mithya, real and unreal. In Vedanta, the clay pot analogy takes an interesting turn when we explore the concept of reality. We saw how the formless clay gives rise to the pot. Vedanta makes a dramatic assertion. It claims that the clay is the only real thing, Satyam, while the pot itself is an illusion, Mithya. Now, this might sound strange. After all, the pot seems very real, doesn't it? We can touch it, hold water in it, and appreciate its form. So, why is pot considered an illusion? The key lies in its impermanence. Here, Vedanta introduces another important attribute of illusion. It is called Nama Rupa Karma. In Sanskrit, Nama Rupa Karma translates to name, form, and function. Let's break it down. Nama means name. This refers to the designation we give an object that is created using clay, in our case, pot. The name is just a mental label we attach to a specific form. It exists only in our mind, like any illusion. Rupa means form. This is the pot's physical shape and design. What if I ask you, is the form real? Vedanta makes an astounding argument. You're not adding any new ingredient to create the form. The pot's form arises solely from the manipulation of the clay itself. Its round belly, curved handle, and decorative patterns are all created by molding the clay. There's nothing truly new added to the clay for it to become a pot. It's simply the clay taking on a specific shape. This is the crux of the illusion. By virtue of the shape it acquires, we assign the label pot. However, this form is temporary and impermanent. The clay can be reshaped or broken, and the pot ceases to exist. Next, we come to karma, which means function. This refers to the pot's function, its ability to hold water or serve a specific purpose. This function is dependent on its form, and if the form changes, the function becomes irrelevant. These three aspects, name, form, and function, are all interconnected. They create the illusion of a separate entity, the pot, but none of them have permanent, independent existence. I want to emphasize independent existence here. The name, form, and function of the pot have no independent existence separate from the clay. On the other hand, the clay persists forever. Therefore, the real essence, according to Vedanta, lies in the underlying clay. The clay itself existed before the pot was formed, and it will continue to exist even after the pot breaks. It is the unchanging reality that underlies this temporary play of names, forms, and functions. Think of it this way: imagine a dream. In the dream, you might encounter a beautiful functional object. While you're dreaming, it seems very real. But upon waking, you understand it was an illusion, a temporary product of your mind. Similarly, the world we perceive, with its countless forms and functions, is seen by Vedanta as a kind of waking dream, an illusion, mithya, underlying the true reality, satyam of Brahman, the formless, unchanging source. We should note that the pot isn't completely denied. It has a role to play in our worldly experience. A formless clay cannot provide any useful function. However, by understanding the clay as real and pot as an illusion, we can shift our focus from the impermanent to the eternal. We can begin to see beyond the play of names, forms, and functions and glimpse the underlying reality of Brahman. Imagine yourself on a stormy sea. Waves crash against your boat, tossing you about. Fear and uncertainty grip you as you struggle to navigate the chaos. This represents our experience of the world, a constant flux of change, impermanent forms, and fleeting pleasures. It's no wonder we often feel a sense of unease and insecurity. Now imagine a lighthouse amidst the storm. Its steady beam cuts through the darkness, offering a beacon of hope and stability. In Vedanta, the formless clay represents this lighthouse, the unchanging reality of Brahman. By understanding Brahman, we understand the underlying essence that persists beneath the ever changing forms of the world. Vedanta reiterates that this knowledge brings peace. Here's how: it provides detachment from impermanence. Knowing that the pot, the impermanent form, is ultimately clay, the unchanging reality, allows us to detach from the anxieties associated with impermanence. We learn to let go of the fear of losing things, relationships, or even our own physical form. It helps us focus on the enduring essence. By connecting with the enduring essence of clay, Brahman, we tap into the source of deep inner peace. This peace isn't dependent on external circumstances. It arises from the realization of our own connection to something eternal and unchanging. It helps us accept change. Understanding the impermanence of forms allows us to accept the inevitable change in life with greater grace. We learn to navigate the waves of the world without being constantly buffeted about by them. It provides inner strength. Knowing that we are not simply impermanent pots, but the expression of the unchanging clay, Brahman, provides a sense of inner strength and stability. This inner strength allows us to face life's challenges with greater resilience. This, of course, is a gradual process. Just like a sailor learns to navigate by the stars, we learn to find peace by connecting with the unchanging reality within. Vedanta suggests that by contemplating this truth, we can cultivate inner peace and experience a deeper sense of connection with the world around us. The Mrittika Ghatanyaya, or the pot clay analogy, with its exploration of these fundamental relationships, paves the way for the transformational answer to the Upanishadic question: what is it by knowing which everything else becomes as good as known? It sets the stage for understanding why knowing the underlying reality is equivalent to knowing everything else. At this point, I'm tempted to take a small detour into quantum physics. I have always been fascinated by the parallels between these two subjects because it stares you in the face. It is uncanny. Here's another example of this uncanny parallel. We saw how the formless clay gives rise to countless pots, each with a distinct name, form, and function. But here's a question that might arise. When a pot is created, aren't these names and forms entirely new additions to the clay? After all, the lump of clay couldn't hold water or serve a purpose until it took on the form of a pot. So, where did these names, forms, and functions come from? Vedanta offers a surprising perspective. It suggests that these names and forms aren't truly created from scratch. They already exist in a potential state within the clay itself. Imagine the clay as a vast reservoir of possibilities. Every pot, cup, figurine, any form imaginable lies dormant within this reservoir, waiting to be brought forth. The potter in this analogy acts like a catalyst. They don't invent new forms, they simply manipulate the clay to reveal these pre existing possibilities. Think of it like sculpting a hidden figure from a block of marble. The form was always there within the stone, waiting to be revealed by the sculptor's art. The concept of names and forms existing in a potential state within the clay might seem strange, but here's where the parallel to quantum physics becomes truly captivating. One of the key ideas in quantum mechanics is that particles like electrons or protons don't exist in a definite state until they are observed. They exist as a set of possibilities, a kind of blurry mix of all potential states. In quantum mechanics, this state of existing in multiple possibilities simultaneously is called superposition. Imagine all the potential forms within the clay existing in a similar state of superposition until the potter's action measures them, bringing forth a specific form from the vast ocean of possibilities. Both the pot clay analogy and quantum superposition challenge our everyday understanding of creation. In Vedanta, names and forms aren't entirely new, they exist in a potential state within the clay. In quantum mechanics, particles exist as a set of possibilities until a measurement collapses the wave function into a single state. This parallel between Vedanta and quantum physics invites us to ponder the nature of reality. Perhaps the universe itself unfolds from a vast field of pure potential. Just as the potter brings forth forms from the clay, a higher consciousness might be manifesting the universe from a field of countless possibilities. So, we have grappled with the profound question: what is that by knowing which everything else is known? Today, we discovered a captivating answer. Knowing the cause of everything is akin to knowing everything else. But this begs a thrilling new question: what is this ultimate cause? What is it truly like? The pot clay analogy gave us a glimpse. We saw how the formless clay holds the potential for countless pots. But just as a potter shapes the clay, who or what shapes the ultimate cause? Is there a cosmic potter behind the scenes? And how can we, mere mortals, even begin to comprehend such a being? In our next post, we'll delve deeper into the heart of Vedanta's answers, exploring the nature of this ultimate cause and the path to its realization. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for reminders. Share it with your friends and like-minded people. Until next time, Namaste.